This week, the Fiends watched.
The Last of Us, episode 9. Look for the light.
Look for the light, guys. We have been reviewing every episode. We apologize for the delay in YouTube videos, okay?
Shit happens.
But we did the previous 8, audio only, link in the description. If you want to catch up on what we thought, you can listen to those 8, come back and listen to this one. We will review the whole series at the end of this episode, but for now, we're going to focus on the finale. We do not know what each other thought.
Why would we?
Yeah, because we don't watch them together, but I'm very excited to see if we match up. If we don't,
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious.
Me too. I have
George.
to ask you first, though.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah, okay,
You gotta
okay.
close
Okay.
out this 9-week epic, whatever you want to call it.
Is it?
Well,
okay. Yeah,
it's
no,
been
I
a
know.
long journey, you know?
It has been a long journey.
It's like The Hobbit, but worse. So, Mikey, what did you think of episode 9, the finale?
I'm going to tell you right now, man. Good episode. Didn't really have any major problems with it, but it is the ending of the game, and it's literally the same thing. And I can't help that when this episode ended, the number one word in my head was why. Why did they make this? Why is this necessary? If you've never played the game, it's probably one of the best shows you've ever seen. If you've played the game, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I played the game. So this is just people acting out the game. It's done well, but why? Why did we do all this? It didn't have a satisfying conclusion because it's literally just the end of the game. And that's my major takeaway from this episode. It was good. I was entertained by it, but it left me feeling, like Jadakiss once said, why? And that's what I shall say. Michael, what did you think of this finale to The Last of Us?
You're gonna hate me.
Why?
You already have. You already hate
I
me.
do.
since
I
we
do.
met.
I do hate you.
But you're gonna hate me for one and one reason alone. We're on the exact same page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Oh my God! You scared me for a second.
But sometimes you hate me for that. But it's
No,
fine.
you're right.
You know?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, man. Hey, look. I'm obsessed with the first game. I'm obsessed with it.
Of course.
It's one of the best games of all time, and I just recently replayed it. But it's copy and paste except for the intro. It's copy and paste from the game.
Copy paste.
But it's a watered down version. The game closes the story way better.
Yes.
So with your question of why, it's a thought I had as soon as the episode ended too, and it's been days now. We got to sink into it.
Yes.
It's just overall, it's a good episode. I'll tell anyone in the world, oh, the finale was a good episode.
Sure.
But the fact, Mikey, that they made it 43 minutes is a slap in the face to everyone who's watching week to week. It's just watered down. It's just, it did its job, but it didn't do anything, it didn't do anything really that new.
That's
But
the problem.
The newest thing about it to me was actually the best part for me, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a good episode.
No. I'm glad we're on the same page. But okay, we'll just get into it.
Yeah,
we'll
let's
just
do
get
it.
into it.
Let's
It
do it.
opens with what's her name?
Ashley Johnson.
Ashley Johnson from Growing Pains. Oh man, I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
So she was the voice of Ellie.
Right.
And now she's Ellie's mom. I get the whole idea of it, giving birth to the character, right? You're passing on to Bella Ramsey. Okay, I did this, now you're doing it. I get it's a cool idea,
Yeah.
right? But the fucking scene didn't make sense for me. It didn't make sense for me.
What about it?
So, this is all fresh, right?
Brand new.
So okay. So tell me if I'm crazy.
Let's
all
hear
right.
it.
So Ellie's mom is running from an infected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't know where. We don't know. We just know she's running from an infected,
Yeah.
right? And she runs into a house and runs upstairs, closes the door. The thing busts through the door and it climbs on or whatever. She's fucking 9 months. She's super pregs, dude.
She's in labor.
She's in labor,
Yeah.
right? So it's attacking her and whatever. So Ellie gets born because the umbilical cord. We learn how she became immune.
Right.
That's awesome.
Like Blade.
Okay? That's cool, sure. Just like Blade, right? But Blade was infected, you know what I'm saying? He actually had
All right,
you know
all
what I
right.
mean? He had effects from the infection.
So Ellie's also, she tests positive.
No, but she doesn't have
tests,
effects.
All right.
She has no effects from the infection.
But
She
it's
wouldn't
very
know.
similar format. Is what I'm
I'll
trying to
give you
say.
a format of similarity, but I'm not giving you the whole format.
It'd be different if she was like she had powers and stuff and like she.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a decent
all right.
comparison.
All right.
So Then all of a sudden, Marlene busts in, and I go, "Wait, don't! Why are they doing this? Because it opens up the door to so many questions. You just told us in episode 7 that Ellie is raised in this Fedra camp and has a best friend who was recruited by Marlene, and you're telling me that Marlene and Ellie's mom have been best friends for however many years, right? And promises to take care of Ellie and do whatever she can, like whatever she can for her daughter. You think she would pretty much raise her herself.
Yeah.
And the fact that that just pops up in the last episode and there is zero evidence of her having any sort of connection to Ellie until the last episode, to me, literally it felt like just a oversight, an overlook of like, well, hold on, she'd be way more involved in Ellie's life, checking in on her, making sure she's all good, blah, 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 blah. But she does none of that. None of that.
Yeah, it's not addressed. Yeah, it's not. I mean, only in the first episode when they are talking, I'm pretty sure there's a mention of her knowing her mom. I think that's it.
Sure.
But you're right.
But they just captured her.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they just captured her. So it's not like she was raised in the Fireflies, or she sent her right to a fucking Fedra school.
Yeah.
And she's a hardcore Firefly?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, so the only thing I could say to that maybe is that, the reason why, I think they addressed it in the podcast or something.
She's going to be safe?
Well, that Marlene just doesn't have that, like, motherly instinct to, like, raise someone. That's why she's like, I think you need to find someone to have her raised better. So maybe at the time...
Who? Fedra? See what I'm saying?
But
the
I mean,
people that she hates?
Sure, yeah. Yes, look, I'm agreeing with you.
The people that she hates.
I'm agreeing with you.
She makes a promise to her best friend who is dying that she's going to take care of her baby. And she's like, nah, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it to Fedra school.
Yeah, you're right, though.
It's bullshit.
No,
to me,
right.
it just... They try to link it where, oh, that's Marlene, okay, but it just seems hollow and empty, and it's totally unnecessary. You do not need that to be the case.
Right. No, you don't. You don't need to. It could be a simple conversation of, oh, I knew your mother.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I knew her. Like, we weren't best friends. I don't know. She, like through what we went to the same QZ, whatever. Oh, I knew of your mother, not we are best friends. Because you're right.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense that she's not her right hand like girl all the time.
And I killed your mom.
Yeah.
I shot your mom in the head and scooped you up as a baby. Like, that's just something that is a huge moment. And for her to just throw her off into a Fedra school, I was like, this does not have the impact that I think you guys want it to have on me specifically.
No, that's interesting.
I was like, this opening scene is just, I'd rather just, if Marlene was just out of it, it'd be way better for me. Way better.
Because you don't need to have that connection. I understand. No,
It's just
I'm with
an
you on that.
oversight of her not even be checking in on her. And for her to recruit her best friend, what does she think is going to happen when she recruits her best friend? Of course, Ellie's going to want to come along.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
Like, so then that defeats the purpose of her giving her to Fedra in the first place. Why would you recruit her best friend? You would stay way away from her best friend if you think she's going to be safe there.
Yeah.
So it just, all these things, it just seems like an oversight. They didn't think about any of that
And
shit.
her friend even asked if you could come along. You'd be like, no.
And she's like, no.
Oh, okay. But if you were the motherly figure, you would be like, no, we have to. Why separate you from anyone at this point when you already lost your mom and so I'm with you.
She doesn't have to be a motherly figure.
No.
She just had to be a part of her life somehow.
Sure.
Then it makes her a shit person for promising her best friend that she's going to take care when she did the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's right. She said, here's someone else's hand.
If Ellie never got bit, she would never have met back up with Marlene.
Yeah. That's true.
The only reason why Marlene kept her and was trying to help. That's it. It's just for the vaccine. That is it.
See, this is what you're good for, man. I didn't think of any of that.
I know you didn't. It's fine.
But you know what, though? I haven't heard anybody talk about that.
Sure,
so
it's okay.
Good shit, dude. That's really good. But I'm on your... I totally agree, though.
That's where the opening scene had a problem for me. But I get it. It's a cool scene. I understand. Like, it's a fun scene.
Well,
I
look,
get it.
The first thing I wrote down was, this intensity with an infected is what the show is lacking, and this is what every episode could have had, something similar. Like, when she's getting chased, and then downstairs, I love how they didn't show the infected. You hear the window break. You hear it running up the stairs. You're like, oh, shit. Like, This is what we don't have throughout the entire game. So I was like, I give him credit for at least giving us something with the infected, because post Kansas City...
Yeah.
There's 2 flashbacks of infected, which means nothing in the current story has infected after Kansas City, which at the end of the day is crazy, Mikey.
As we discussed last week or 2 weeks ago, when they miss. Oh no, last week when they missed such a huge opportunity between David and Ellie.
Yeah.
So they're taking out infected scenes and putting in new ones. Why are you taking some out and inventing random new ones in Flash? Like, I don't know. The infected part we've been talking about it the past 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So and this was just right on par with that.
Right.
Right on par with that. And we'll get to a point where I think they should have thrown in infected. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Similar to the game or just a new...
I believe so.
okay.
But they changed a lot from the game when
for
it comes to them entering the city.
Polar opposites.
Yeah, so when they're entering the city in the game. So we pick back up with Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest difference?
Well, it's springtime now.
Okay.
And,
between the characters.
Ellie and Joel, Joel's trying his best to like be that he's happy with their relationship.
Joel is Ellie, Ellie is Joel.
Right, and Ellie is very distant and separate, not really listening.
They're literally they switch
Yeah.
personalities for that opening scene.
Right.
Which is such a great, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Finally, last episode, Joel is like happy, finally, and now Ellie is not.
Ellie's like she knows that this could be the end. Like she's ready to, if she needs to, die. She knows that. She's aware that I might die because of all this.
See, I don't know about that though.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, because
I think it's the journey. I think it's the journey that's gotten her down. And like she says in the end of the episode, when she finally reveals that about Riley and, she's blaming herself for Sam. So I think it's more that stuff that's getting her down. I don't think it's that she thinks she's going to die.
I think she's prepared to, and I think she knows.
See, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's just my gut instinct, and it's not like there's no not half measure. That's what they say in Breaking Bad. But she's like, there's no half something. We can't go half. Like,
yeah, she's saying we need because Joel says let's just turn around and go back.
Sure.
I don't think Ellie's saying, yeah, let's go so I can die. I think she's saying
that she might.
She's trying to save the world though. She doesn't want to die. She's a naive 14-year-old girl who's like, oh, if I can help, I want to help.
Yeah.
I don't think she's sitting there going, oh, well, I'm marching to my death right now.
No, not marching. No, look, everything's gotten to her. David trying to assault her, everything that she did. Of course,
exactly.
Everyone who's died, she's definitely thinking about everyone who died for her to just get to
1,000%, like I just said.
always had an inclination, even in the game, and I don't even know if it's made clear in the game.
It's not. It's not.
Okay, that it's like, it's whatever it takes.
No, because that makes Marlene. That's why I disagree, is because Marlene doesn't give her that choice. We don't know what Ellie would have wanted. And that's why if she does have that, like you're saying, it makes Marlene a good character. Because then it says, yeah, this is what Ellie wants. So it puts Joel completely in the wrong at the end, and it puts Marlene completely in the right at the end. Which that's why I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
That Ellie's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die. Like if I go there and I die, so be it. Like I do not think that was her mindset. I think she's going there because she genuinely thinks her blood can help create the vaccine. Not that they need to open up her fucking scalp and take out her fucking brain apart,
Sure.
So that's and again, that's why they did it, because they don't lay it out in the game or the show. So just so we can have these conversations.
Yeah, right.
They don't make it clear about if she knew she wanted to die, if she didn't know, is Marlene because that's the whole answer of the show, is do you sacrifice the love of your life or one person that you care about to save the whole world, right? That's the whole idea of this episode and the end of the game. Since they're the same thing.
Sure. I mean, do you think now if we can step out of the game for a second?
I'm stepping out.
Step out. Take a step out.
Stepping out, dude.
If she was told, "Hey, we're gonna have to cut your brain open. You're going to die." Do you think the Ellie that we know from the game and the show would still do it? What's your initial thought? You think she would say no?
No, I think she would say no.
She would say yeah.
See, I totally disagree because I think she is so attached to Joel now. That's what she's living for now. Even though they don't say it, we know Joel's living for Ellie now. He basically says it, but I think Ellie's just as much living for Joel right now, and that would literally, because she's fighting to survive this whole time.
Yeah.
Fighting to survive.
Sure.
Like fighting to survive because she thinks she can go there and help just by cutting her little thing open and putting on Sam like that. That's how naive and young she is.
Yeah.
So I do not think, but again, they don't say it. They don't give us this. So that's why these conversations are good.
Oh, for sure.
I think she would think about it and at the end of the day be like, you know what? Because there's no guarantee it's going to work. They would tell her like, dude, the Fireflies are fucking incompetent to a crazy extent. They are not the most competent people in the world. They might not even be able to create one of these vaccines, let alone roll it out for the nation.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee, and it's not a guarantee even if they did get the vaccine.
Yes.
Doesn't mean humanity saved.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know what evidence we have that Ellie will be willing to like die, like a choice of, you're going to die right now, that there might be a chance to save everyone. I don't think she would do that. I don't think she's that much of a, you have to be like a mature, selfless adult to make that kind of decision. She's a 14-year-old kid. She's going to be like, well, no, wait, hold on. No, I don't want to die. I want to help, but I don't want to die.
Look, nobody wants to die, for sure. But I think there's a part that's like, well, look at what we've been through. We're at this point where I'm not going back. So I just always had it, even after playing the game a few times, I'm like, I think she was prepared to, if this is the case, I'm willing to die. But I see your side.
Okay, that's fine.
I've always had that thought. That I'm like, she knew. I mean, look, it almost took them like a year.
So then you must hate Joel, though, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I love Joel, but we'll talk about his decision.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Then you think he's totally wrong in that decision.
No, not at all. No.
I'm not family.
No. You're cargo.
It might not be her father, but you were someone's.
So yeah, and then but prior to that though, they did have, in the game, there's the flood, all the water, Ellie, and then Joel's trying to resuscitate her, and that's when they come in, right? Why not have that there? Why not have that budget? Like,
I guess, again, it's like, so that's the thing that
he's fighting off infected as well. No,
they have to travel through infected.
There you go.
You can either decide to literally be stealth and just not even and just go past them,
like zigzag,
or go nuts.
Exactly.
It's up to you. That's the choice.
Do that. Why rip that? That's what I was saying before about when they made up on the flashback. This is the opportunity to have it in the last episode.
Yep.
Put that right there and make that the last, infected, because there's nothing after that. So make that the last infected. Have a couple of them, right? In a tunnel, wherever,
Make
right?
it intense. Like, this is what we're missing, guys.
They're just walking through, Mikey. How you doing? I'm all right. How you doing?
Oh, by the way, have you seen an infected for months? I haven't. No one's seen them.
Nope.
We haven't seen them. It's not even like this world, from the view of the show, looks so safe.
So safe.
And
so safe.
You don't, in the game, you go, every city's fucked. Every QZ's gone.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's fucking hospitals here.
Yeah.
It could be ran by infected. No one knows. But in here, it's like, nah, it's fine.
Why is the QZ gone? Shouldn't that mean that infected killed all the people? So where are all the infected that became infected? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you want to have an abandoned QZ, then there should be infected scattering around.
Totally.
Just doesn't make sense.
Stop having it where the humans are the real monster bullshit.
Yeah, you can have
Fuck
that.
You
But you need to have both. Yeah, they've done it in 4 episodes. They introduce new character, bad human. New character, bad human. New character, bad human. Like, that's what we've been getting.
Hey, how about give us bad infected?
Yeah,
give
both.
Us
You
give
do
us
both.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous,
So give us
man.
that sense of tension. Give us that horror aspect, and especially when, dude, it's at 25 minutes into a 43-minute episode when Joel is telling Ellie about when they sit down and I almost killed myself.
Yep.
There's 19 minutes left, and as a viewer, I'm going, oh my God.
Me too.
This is going to be the most rushed ending to recent memory in a finale I think I've ever seen.
No question.
And it was.
Yeah.
I was worried.
And that's why it's like, oh, this episode's 43 minutes. Why are you not adding an infected scene in there? Why are you not doing this? Like, why? There's a rule, not a rule, but an idea in filmmaking and TV where it's like, okay, you're getting dialogue out, but you want your characters to be doing something. You don't just want them to be sitting there talking. Whether in Game of Thrones they're drinking wine or they're shooting arrows, whatever they're doing, you want to have them doing something while they're talking, so we're not just sitting there like, oh, it's literally just like we're sitting here talking, not doing anything, pouring coffee, doing this. Your characters have to be doing something, and then you block out the scene, right? And it becomes more interesting, and you can grab onto that scene.
Right.
This, they didn't do that when they're just walking. They're just walking and talking like they have been doing a lot in this show. And I'm like, this is it.
This is the finale,
This is 30 minutes left, and we're just talking right now. Like, they weren't doing anything. They weren't searching for supplies. They were just talking. And it's like, how do you not mix in, Craig Zoller is his name?
Craig Mazin?
Craig Mazin. Yeah, Craig Mazin. I don't know why I always say Zoller. So the giraffe scene. Let's talk about the giraffe scene.
Yeah, the giraffe scene, which, I mean, this is the most copy and paste right out of the game for the show. And
it's
just like, all right, like I liked seeing the the innocence, the youth, and okay, great, but like
that was in the game.
It's in the game.
Why are you doing it again?
And it's like, but like,
make it
same music cue, same
everything,
running, same distance, same
stances.
everything.
They're in the same
set.
thing. Oh, Joel,
Same shot.
don't scare her. Everything's the same. And I'm
going, guys, we have
I know.
24 minutes left, and we haven't even gotten to the hospital.
The most important part is we've seen this.
Right.
And that's my problem is that why are you doing this? There's a scene that they say, okay, we need to show Joel that Ellie's innocence is not dead, that she actually isn't beaten and broken like at the beginning of the episode, right?
Right.
That's the purpose of the giraffe scene is to show Joel, okay, she's still in there somewhere. So I get that. But let's change what's happening. Let's not make it a giraffe. Let's not make it set exactly from the game. That's why you would adapt a video game is to get the same ideas and principles, but make them a little bit different. And they just haven't been doing that. They've been copy and pasting the game for the last however many episodes,
Right.
So this is a perfect example of that. This is like fan service of just, no, they meet a giraffe in the game. We're going to do the same exact thing.
Yeah, and early on, I remember being like, oh, they're going to hit all the major beats.
Yeah.
And they didn't hit all the action beats, but they hit all the same drama and heartfelt beats.
Yeah.
This show, I'm blown away, Mikey, by the things that they introduced that are new, that I love, that are not in the game, and you go, whoa, this is like, where did you guys come up with this?
Like what, for instance?
Bill and Frank.
Oh, okay, that. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm saying, these little things that you didn't get, and they're brand new. I'm blown away by that, but I'm equally blown away by the things that are just copy and paste. And they didn't do a good balance of both.
No.
It's very lopsided. And when you're trying to do fan service, yes, there are things that are fan service.
This
but
is
I
the perfect example.
You,
yeah.
Most fans are going, you're not giving me what we wanted from the game. You're just giving us the things that you need to put in.
Yeah,
They didn't give us any of the major horror, tense.
Well, I think he
scenes.
Craig looks at gameplay like he can't put it in the show. And he said it on the podcast, like every time. He's like, so this part was gameplay, so we felt like we couldn't put it in the show, da-da-da. That's why this giraffe scene to him is like a perfect fan service thing for him, because it's just like a cutscene kind of thing where you're just watching it. And for him, that's okay to put that in there because it's not gameplay. He took out so much, quote-unquote, gameplay from the show that it made it not have any horror or infected, suspenseful scenes that come along with the game. So he looks at the scenes that are actual gameplay where you're shooting, throwing bottles, doing whatever, and literally has been taking those out of the show, which makes it just the Last of Us without the infected and without the horror element that makes the dramatic and sensitive parts hit so much more because all of a sudden you're about to die with an infected and you survive, then you have a heartfelt moment. You need to experience both, and he cut out all the gameplay, and I don't know why he looks down on gameplay so much.
Doesn't make any sense, and it's like you're right. It's if you have those moments of, wow, it took a lot to get here, and we went through a lot, and we survived these infected. We saw a horde, we got past them, whatever. It makes getting into the hands of the Fireflies at the end just that more impactful.
Like when you play the game.
Shit.
When you play the game.
The game does it perfectly.
How long is the game?
About 10 to 12 hours.
So that's not even, that's the show.
Right.
That is the show. You can play this game in 10 hours.
Right, yeah.
So that's the show.
Yeah.
So why are they taking away so much of this quote unquote gameplay, as he says, when you can, the reason you're adapting a video game is to take the gameplay and make it a movie, make it a show, film it, right? That's why you adapt something. It's because you take the gameplay and you go, how do we make this so that the viewer's entertained even though they're not playing it? And they didn't do any of that, and that's a fucking cop-out and an excuse. And the show kind of went like this for me as it was going. It didn't drop off a cliff, but it didn't keep up with the level that it was at for the first 3 episodes. So it's kind of a shame that that's the way it ended.
Yeah, and with the expectations you go into as someone who's played the game, right? Like you said, someone who's never played it going, oh my God, this is storytelling 101.
It's amazing.
And it's an amazing story.
Of course.
But
that's why the game's so fucking highly regarded.
Right, and it's just that when you can't translate it, when you do translate it and it's less.
Yes.
The biggest question is...
I don't think
the question.
I don't think I heard your. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
That's
why?
the
Why?
biggest
Why?
question at the
Why?
end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you don't see, look, a good translation, but it's not better. It's not like the only thing that's better is Bill and Frank. Like that's the only thing that's better from the show.
Mikey, you just nailed it.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything better.
Right.
you can just go play the game and get the same feeling. Even the last scene of this episode, I watched the game version of that.
Yeah.
I got more emotion off the game version than I did off of the show version of the last scene when they're standing on the mountain.
Yeah, I think I know why. And I'm
Okay.
sure you know why.
We'll
Or
get
I'm
to
sure
it.
you-
We'll get to it.
Okay, let's get to it. So anyway, yes,
So-
they get.
But I have a question, though. I have a question.
Sure.
Shh,
Hit
take
me.
it easy, take
Hit
it
me,
easy.
hit me.
So he's talking about the suicide thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in the game?
No,
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that they added that into the show. Okay.
brand new.
Okay.
He does
Okay,
talk
cool.
about Sarah when they get to that point.
Yep.
And that's when
He's
Ellie,
fine. He's
Ellie
fine.
gives him the photo, which
Yep.
is not part of this in the
Okay.
show. And it's like, I guess I can't escape my past.
There you go.
And that's it. Man, that's
Yeah.
it. There's nothing
But
back
and
to
that's
it.
another thing. He's finally able to talk about Sarah, which was cool in this episode where he
totally.
has. He's totally fine. So that's a character thing, but that's in the game as well. When they're
yeah.
walking through this QZ, he's talking about Sarah. You
Yep.
know, yeah. So
Absolutely.
okay. So now we get to the hospital, as you were saying.
Yeah, the flash bomb comes in. You get the Fireflies. They took him in there. Joel wakes up just like in the game, saying, "What's going on? Where am I? Where's Ellie?"
Yes, and
And
Marlene
Marlene's
is there.
there.
And now I have a question, Mikey.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Marlene get to that goddamn hospital?
Well, that's the thing I always thought, even in the game. It's like
I wrote it
says
down.
to Joel, she goes, "Man, how'd you get here?" And I'm going, "How did you get here?"
She says it. She's like, "Oh, we lost like 5 guys
Sure.
going across country." And I'm going, "Yeah, but they left. Joel and Ellie left way before you did. You were fucking almost mortally wounded.
Yeah.
We thought, right? And it's
Right.
like, how the fuck did you get here?
Right.
I just don't buy it. I didn't buy how they
Yeah.
got there. Joel and Ellie aren't making stops like
Yeah.
for 5 days at a time.
Sure.
They keep moving.
Right.
So I don't know. I just didn't. It's
I don't get it. And in the back, even in the game, you're going, "Well, why did you need Joel to do this? Just because you were
Yeah.
injured? Well, why not just wait a little bit?
Exactly.
Just, in a month, I'll be ready to go, and I'm gonna. Fucking
It's so
take you."
dumb.
It's so, there's no rush. There's no clock on. Ellie needs to get to Utah by fucking
well,
January 8th.
weren't they saying that that Fedra was going to come raid where Ellie was and where Marlene
Sure.
was shot at
Fedra's
the time,
definitely
right?
moving in,
Isn't
for
that
sure.
Because I
For
just remember
sure.
in the first episode they do say something
Yeah.
of why they need to get Ellie out now. I don't remember if that's what it was.
Fedra was definitely there was obviously the tensions rising between Fedra
Yep.
and the Fireflies.
Yep.
So it's that no one's. I mean, they went back to that house or sorry, that apart wherever the
Yeah.
fuck they are, and there's people dead everywhere.
Yes.
So okay, I get it. Yes, it's not safe to be there.
Yeah.
But you can leave, and you did, and you made it to Utah.
Exactly, that's
So
the
it's like,
problem.
why right now?
I know.
Anyway,
I know.
but yeah, I'm with you. Anytime I play the game, I'm like, Marlene's here.
I
Holy
know.
shit, you
Yeah.
made it.
And you're the one that was sending. I don't know. It's just I didn't get it. I didn't like it. But
Yeah. They first of all, the game and the storytellers love Marlene. I think
yeah.
Marlene is just you need her for the handoff to Joel.
yeah, that's it.
really don't need her at
but
the
and then she becomes the villain
Yeah.
at the end.
Right.
So she becomes your major villain in the final hour of the game or whatever
Right,
it is. So
right.
that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's
now
fine.
we get to the best part of the episode, right?
I would argue yes.
You would argue it. You're saying,
if
or
somebody
wait,
said-
arguably, or you would argue?
If somebody said this wasn't the best,
no,
I would
you
say-
think it is, though.
I think it's the best part
Okay,
of the
good. Sorry,
episode.
sorry.
I look. I really did like the Infected with Ashley Johnson, but this is the best part of the episode.
Yeah, that's fucking 2 seconds. This
know.
is literally Joel's like. I like redemption because I think he actually is redeemed in this moment, even though he's killing a bunch of humans. But I think he's doing it for a reason that I think 99% of us would do. I think 99% of us would do the same thing. And that's why when we were talking in the beginning about Ellie, if she wants to die, I go, what Joel is doing is the right thing to do. And I stand behind him 100%.
I'm Team Joel. I really
Okay.
am, and I was
Okay.
since the game, and I still
Okay.
am now. And yeah, it is. You can't let this girl die. She's. I mean, look, they weren't together for 3 days, and it's like this chick, whatever. No,
Yeah,
no.
months.
It's aside from Sarah,
Yeah.
maybe Tommy, but he still has a little beef with Tommy.
Tess, she died though.
Tess
Yeah.
for sure. He's in the top. Ellie's in the top 5 for Joel's, affection and love ever of his life.
Well, they say it in the game is that Ellie's like, in the show when they're walking through the QZ, and Ellie's like, "Oh, I guess time does heal all wounds," and he's like, "It wasn't time. Basically, it was you. You saved me." Just as much as Joel's trying to protect Ellie, Ellie saved Joel. So that's the whole, Ellie's it for him now.
Oh, Ellie
Ellie's
is
it.
his life.
Yeah, and
even when that flashbang comes, sorry to cut you off. Even when the flashbang comes, it's him protecting her.
Oh, yeah.
And as you should, but it's just like he doesn't want anything to happen to this girl.
Exactly.
He's gonna do everything it takes to make sure that she lives.
Exactly, and that's what I think every parent, every brother, I think 99% of people would make that same decision and will go to any lengths to say, oh, wait, you're going to have to kill her for this to maybe work. Not worth the risk.
Right.
It's just not worth. Okay, what if she died? There's just no evidence that this will ever work.
Right.
The best and brightest minds in the world are probably dead.
For sure.
You have a fucking doctor and 2 nurses in a rundown hospital with fucking, 10 guards over there. And that's it, dude.
Yeah. No, that's
and then
it.
they're gonna make a fucking they're gonna mass produce a vaccine.
Yeah.
It just isn't worth the sacrifice, right? We could all die tomorrow with infected running in here. So that's why I think Joel is 100% in the right with
Joel's in the
what he
right.
did here. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, and you got to say, you did say 10 guards.
Yeah.
We also have to point out 10 of the worst guards.
Well, Joel's
of
good.
all time. No, Joel's great.
Joel's good, dude.
But
He's pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
But I loved
No,
it.
I love the scene.
How they did it, dude, with no sound.
Dude, that was great with the slow version of the theme and
Yes.
with the strings.
All the sound got muted out, and it's just that music going, and him taking out all the guards, and it puts you in Joel's mindset of nothing else matters.
He's Terminator right there. I have one
Terminator.
mission. John Connor
Red
needs
Vision.
to be saved. Yes.
Dude, that's it. And it puts you right in his mindset. And I like how they did that. Finally, Craig can do like a action scene, but he has to do it pretentious, obviously. He has to do it where slow, sentimental music is playing, right? And he can't just do brutal, gritty violence.
No
This
John
scene-
Wick shit.
This scene does not. John Wick, I don't know if it's brutal and gritty. I'm talking about like, that's why I say Zoller. Because Craig, whatever, Zoller's the guy who did Bone Tomahawk
Yeah.
and
Cell
Cell Block.
Block.
Yeah. Dude,
There's the
that's,
Zoller, yeah.
that's gritty and brutal and nasty shit.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, Craig will never do that stuff. But he'll do Joel slaughtering a bunch of people, but it has to be, operatic,
And
right?
graceful.
It has to be graceful.
Yeah,
It has to be graceful.
Gotta have
yeah.
grace, man.
You have to. You have
Does
to.
it. He gets to the room.
Loved it.
Takes out the doctor.
No,
It's
bro.
the same thing from the game.
Bro,
Hit
when
me with
he
it.
shot the doctor, Mikey, it hit me so hard because it showed you how serious he was.
Right.
It was like, holy shit, the doctor's just like, I'm not going to jump on him, just shoot. Immediately.
Joel doesn't even flinch. You just don't.
Immediately.
That is the part that's actually more effective than the game.
I know, because the game, it's a struggle,
The
right?
game, you're as Joel,
Yeah.
and you're toggling, and you have the it pointed. You have the gun pointed to the guy. You're like,
rifle?
am I supposed to shoot right now?
Okay.
Because you're not really that sure. You're like, or am I supposed to just shoot him in the knee?
Okay.
You're supposed to shoot this fucking guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't shoot him, guards come in and kill you. So
That's what it is.
But here it's no, don't come any closer.
Where-
Boom.
Done.
So effective.
It was so
Yeah.
brutal. Like, I was
yeah.
like, okay, it shows how passionately he feels about doing this right now.
And I gotta be honest, Mikey, in
What?
the game,
What?
the 2 nurses turn around. I shot them.
You
both.
killed him? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you killed
I
him,
hate
man.
women.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, except for Ellie.
I would
Except for Ellie.
have killed him too. Well, I don't know about that. I'm gonna get to the end of that though about what you
right.
just said about Ellie. Yeah,
Sure. And then Joel has to get her. There's not some great escape on the way out, so because it's a
He killed everyone.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah,
I mean,
he fucking-
no, but like even in the game, it's like we're running out. There's still more people.
I remember. Yeah, I remember
But
that.
here's like, no, we're gonna leave, and I knew Marlene was coming, as I'm sure you did.
no, see, I forgot.
Okay.
Like that's why I'm glad I didn't play the game before. I played the game in 2013 or 2015, but I'm so glad I did not play because I had no idea what was coming.
Okay,
like
cool.
every step of the way, pretty much throughout this every episode, I had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
So I'm glad of that all the way up until the end. Mikey, I had no idea
That's
what was
cool,
coming.
though. No, that's good.
No idea. Like, but then afterwards, I go, oh my God, they just remade the end of the game scene for scene.
To a T.
Literally shot for shot.
Yep.
Like, how is that a thing?
Yeah, it's just it's like you're trying to play it safe. That's all it is. You're just trying to play it safe.
Yeah,
But you've taken risks. That's the thing that pisses me off. You've taken risks and added new things throughout the season, and a
Yeah.
lot of them worked.
But
Why not
it's
try
only
it
a
now?
few. I don't think a lot of them worked, is what I'm trying to say, because I don't think they did introduce a lot of like new things that were really worked and were impactful.
There's a handful. There's a
Which
handful.
one, what are we talking here? You know,
Dylan Frank, number one.
No, of course.
Sure.
That was
Dylan
my.
Frank.
That's my. Well, we'll rank later.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's,
we're gonna rank, we're gonna
for
rank.
me, that's fucking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But what else is what I'm saying?
Look, small but effective. Having Sam be deaf.
Yeah, I thought about that, but
So little small things, it doesn't
that's
change
fine.
the story.
But that's not a major.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's not a major. Event basically.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't know what so much things that they didn't knew that made it worthy of an adaptation. I don't think there's enough.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
think there's enough
Yeah,
things that are
there's a
new
few. There's a
to
few.
make it yeah, you named 2, so we have 2 going.
Left Behind was DLC, but it's already been there.
That is even worse.
No, that's
Mikey, that's worse than
terrible.
this episode.
No, that's terrible.
That's fucking literally just
Yeah,
shot.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
Yeah, no, it's
same
terrible.
thing,
No, it's
man.
terrible. It's terrible.
Except let's take out all of the cool gameplay that you have to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, actually, no. Even I'm kind of shitting on my own point. The new edition of Kathleen was lame. So yeah,
Exactly.
not all the new
even
editions
the
worked. Okay,
exactly
yeah.
even the Kathleen bit was like, oh my
Awful.
god, what are we
Awful.
doing? Yeah,
Boring.
So all I'm saying is that I don't think they warranted enough. They didn't do enough new stuff to warrant this to even be made.
Right.
This is made, I think, to where they can say we made the best video game adaptation.
Right.
That's what is their goal. That's their goal.
Yeah.
Right. But how did they do that? They just shot the video game.
Right.
And took out all the gameplay.
Took out all the really good
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
that people wanted.
All the parts where you have to play and be the person. No, we're gonna take all that out.
Heart-pounding.
We're gonna have all the cutscenes in there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just get the characters right, which the game does. They didn't change any major character to where you go, oh, all right, they did it different. Now, instead of a young girl, they did a young boy, right? Instead of Joel being this, oh, he's that, or whatever. They didn't do anything like that. They just filmed the game.
Yeah.
And they filmed it really well, and it's acted really well.
Oh, yeah.
The effects are good. Some of the CGI is a little shoddy, you know, like the backgrounds. I'm like,
Here and there, yeah.
oh, that's not green screen, right? You know, the whole fucking thing is green screen.
Yeah.
So it's done well. It's HBO, but it's such a great game that all they had to do was just shoot the game, and now it's the best video game adaptation. It's not an adaptation. They just filmed the game.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, the first movie, that's an adaptation
Sure.
of the video game.
Right.
Where so many things are different. They took a core idea and made everything different. So I'm not saying it's good. I just mean that's what an adaptation is.
Right.
You're adapting something. You're not just copy pasting it. And that's
what
what
this was.
they did with this. So
Yeah. It's a letdown. Overall,
Yes.
it's a letdown because you just imagine, damn, why didn't you have the things that I love? But also, why is it exactly the same? There's a lot of whys going on
Yeah,
in this
dude.
series. I'm with you.
But when he shot that doctor, his face was just so determined, and he's just like, untie her, get her out, carrying her out. Then we see Marlene, as you say. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew what was going to happen.
You didn't know, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. You're
You
like,
know
okay,
what's going on
They're
here.
getting out of here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're going to get out of here. But yeah,
And what's going to happen to Marlene?
yes,
And look, it's the classic. Hey, she would have wanted this.
she's
which
trying
we
to
don't know.
convince her. Yeah, she's trying to convince Joel.
She's gonna die at some point, and for what? She's gonna get killed by raiders or infected.
Yep.
For what? It's like we have a chance to do something, and you're killing that.
Yep.
But she's not seeing it from Joel's side, and she can't
No.
because
Because she's so
even though she should,
Yeah.
because she should have been raising this kid and been like,
Yep.
my best friend's daughter.
Yeah.
No way.
She doesn't have to be the best mom in the world, but just be
No.
involved in her life and check on her, make sure she's safe
Yeah,
all the time.
food,
Something
water. Yeah.
instead of just throwing her to Fedra, like, oh yeah, you'll be safe in Fedra, right?
Right.
She fucking hates Fedra.
She's anti-Fedra.
Why would you give? Yeah,
She's
so
the leader of anti-Fedra.
Exactly.
It is fucking weird. I'm
But
glad you brought
she's
that up.
trying to convince Joel, and you can see her argument. But you're like, well, you never asked Ellie though. That's my biggest issue. You never asked her.
Right.
You never said, hey, are you willing to die so that we might have a chance to save everyone? If Ellie said yes, then I'm with Marlene.
Right.
Then Joel, you have to just sorry, bud.
Yeah.
You got to just deal with the sadness again, right? You have to deal with the sadness because Ellie wants this. Ellie wants to try to save the world, but she doesn't ask her,
Right.
and that's my issue with Marlene. And I'm glad she got a bullet to the fucking head.
Yeah. I like how they showed it. It's the same in the
It's
game.
the same, Mikey, because I said that during the show. I go, oh, she's great. Oh, I love how they showed it. And then I watched. I go, oh, it's exactly even from the camera angles.
same.
Literally, they're on the same side.
Yeah, it's the same.
Of the screen. I'm like, they literally just watched and said, okay, we're gonna film it. We're even gonna get the same actress.
It's the same actress, guys.
Come in here, yeah.
It's
yeah.
all copy paste.
It's ridiculous.
And then even after that, so they, Joel's on the road. He has Ellie in the back seat. That's all pretty much verbatim.
But wait, I just have to say, sorry, I wrote down.
Hit me with it.
I just said Joel was so cold when he's shooting Marlene. So cold, bro.
Totally.
The way that they showed him, like, he had no remorse in him. He was looking at her for the bitch that I believe that she is for not asking this little girl, hey, are you okay with maybe with killing yourself, right?
Yeah.
She just didn't ask her, so fuck you for doing that. Some people could argue and say,
Sure.
she's trying to save the world. Fuck this little girl.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, but some people might. Totally fine.
My Ellie is living.
Sure, she's living Ellie. That's what we call her.
living Ellie.
Yeah. But
Ellie.
when Joel just shoots, she's like, you'll just come after her, bang, and just shoots her.
Nothing on his face, nothing crazy.
No,
You'll come
cold,
after her.
just
It's the
so
same as he shot the doctor.
100% serial killery, just cold, dude.
We're leaving.
Cold.
We're going home.
We're out.
I'm getting the car you promised me, and we're out.
Yeah, you're dead. I'm not leaving you here. Maybe you'll survive. You'll bleed out. No, you're dead.
You're dead.
You're fucking dead. I loved it. I just, it showed how much he cares about Ellie and that it's all for Ellie.
It's all for Ellie.
He doesn't give a shit.
No.
He doesn't give a shit if he dies or not. So I just had to say that before you got to when they were in the car.
No, I was just gonna say,
even
yeah.
though it does intercut. Sorry, it
Yeah,
does.
it does,
You're right.
sure.
It does. Sorry, it does intercut. They're in the car, and then it goes back and
Marley
shows
and
how they did it. Yeah, sorry, I apologize.
And it's just, Joel has to put together a string of lies here and tell Ellie, hey, look, there's other people like you out there.
Dozens.
And they tried, and they actually gave up on finding a cure.
Yeah.
And then Fedra breaks in, or Raiders, sorry. And then Raiders breaks in is what he tells her because
Raiders broke in and killed
we
everyone.
barely
yeah.
got out of there
Yep.
because in the game, they don't address that at all. Where Ellie's not like, so why are we, okay, but like, why didn't you wait till I woke up and like we got some
He just
food and
thinks,
left?
she just thinks they left.
He just goes, they don't need you.
Yeah.
We're on our way out. Doesn't say a fucking word about why. So I like that they answered that because I know a couple people were discussing that. I always had that feeling
It's still
too,
the same sentiment though, right?
Sure.
That
Sure.
why am I in my gown? Why did we leave? It's still the same thing of Ellie mistrusting Joel.
Sure.
Is he telling me the truth, right? I get what you're saying, but I think it's still the same. It's not a big enough change.
No, it's not that big enough of a change.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a small change.
Yeah.
But it does answer a question that I know I thought about after the first time I played it.
What's the question? Form it.
Why did we leave in such a hurry? Because obviously we left in a hurry.
Yeah.
Where's my clothes, Joel? What the fuck? Where's my bag?
Yeah.
Oh, we had to get out of there. It's not addressed at all in the game. So here it's like Raiders came in. We had to get the fuck out.
Oh, you're saying from Ellie's perspective,
Yeah.
you're saying she'd be like, why did we have to leave so quick?
Yeah, like,
you're
why
saying?
are
Okay.
okay, like, where's Marlena? Like, is everything, like, what's going
Marlene?
on? Sorry, I'm sure. Where, like, that's not addressed at all in the game, and she just puts all the trust into Joel.
So
Like,
she doesn't ask, did people die?
No.
Okay.
She
So
doesn't
that's
ask
why
anything.
they yeah. Well, she asks a couple things.
Sorry.
She
What I
does
mean is- sorry.
ask.
She just
Yeah.
asked what happened, why are we, and he's like, just
Yeah.
go back to sleep. You
Yeah.
know, hey, there's dozens
There's
of you.
dozens of
We
you.
don't-
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually gave up on trying to find a cure.
Yeah.
Which, even when she hears that in the game or when she comes out of it,
Okay.
I'm sure she is crushed.
Yes.
That it's like, damn, all that we did.
Yep.
And there's no cure. Fuck. And she has to think about that all the time up until we get to the point at the end.
Yes.
Where obviously these things on her mind, and Joel is giddy and not like out of control, but I'm saying he's happy with the situation of their
He's
lives right
walking
now.
up the mountain, telling her about Sarah, saying you guys would have, which is ripped right from the game.
Yep.
This ending is exactly from the game. And when that fucking screen hit black, these are my notes. I'm sorry to tell you, but
Please tell me.
that fucking ending, question mark, fuck you. And only 45-minute ep, fuck you in all capitals. That's how I felt. Because I don't remember how the game ended. So I didn't know when black was going to hit, what's the last line, da-da-da-da. And when it hit black, I was upset.
Yeah, and it wasn't as impactful. And I
was
it's
upset.
because the road to
We
it.
already know, right? You already knew when it ended.
Sure.
So it ends on the same exact way the game ends.
Same way, but I will say though, the game, and you mentioned it before on why it kind of hit you more with Joel.
Yeah.
I think they filmed and delivered that way better in the game, where it's Ellie says, "Tell." Oh my god! Sorry, I almost choked on my gum.
all right.
Tell me.
Chewing gum. Yeah.
Well, under me, I'm not smacking. You know.
I know.
But under. So okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Tell me everything you told me
It's true.
is the truth.
Yep.
There's that pause from Joel in the game
Yep.
that you don't get in the show.
Yeah.
Because again, feels rushed. Everything feels fucking
Yep.
rushed. Where he doesn't break eye contact, but he breathes a little and says, "Yeah." Like it just
Yeah.
and then she takes a little bit and goes, "Okay."
Yep.
Whereas this, it was like, "Tell me everything you tell me is the truth." And he goes, "Yes." She goes, "Okay." And that's
Yeah.
just it. And then it's just over. It felt
Yeah.
so rushed. The game gave you more space in between.
Okay. In between the questions being asked and the answers. Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
That's how I felt in comparing the two.
I still think again it's the same sentiment. It's the same idea that she has it inkling in her mind that Joel's lying, and she's just asking to see what he says, and he says it, and that's it. So I still don't think it's enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I still
It's
don't
small,
think
but the
it's-
game did it better. That's what I'm
Of
trying
course,
to say.
no, for sure. I just still don't think it's why that there's an extra half second between him saying yeah. Because I got to tell you, man, I got to fucking tell you, okay? by the end of this episode, I came to the conclusion, Bella Ramsey, bad casting.
What did it?
Bella
for
Ramsey,
you?
her acting.
Yeah, just overall, just throughout the
Her
entire
face,
series.
it was the last scene. It was the last scene. I watched it. The show ended. I was mad. I go to YouTube. I said, I watched the end of the game. I watched the end of the game. I felt so much watching the end of that game. It's so, with virtual fucking faces, faces that aren't even real. I felt so much more Ellie's eye, like everything hits way more than in the show. Bella Ramsey, first of all, why is she missing half of her eyebrows?
Well, one of them was like, it's on both. I thought it was on this side. They had that cut. It's a cut there, like in the game.
But why is the rest gone?
It was a scar.
Oh,
It was a scar from like here over. So,
so that's
she's
in the
missing
game.
something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought it was just her. I thought it was Bella Ramsey.
no, it's from the
okay,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
From the game. Okay. Anyway, I've always said her facial acting isn't good, and this last scene that's on display, you would never know what she's thinking.
It's a good point.
In this, you go, I have no idea. Does she know, Joe? That it's just her. Okay, look, tell me the truth. Everything. It's just not there. And I go, bad casting. Her vibe, I get her vibe. She has a fun, kind of tough vibe. She's a tough little kid. I get that. But no, dude, how can a virtual character act better than a real life person? I'm telling you right now, what's a better performance as Ellie?
It's not even a discussion.
Oh, you're with me.
Of course I'm with you. No, I'm with you overall on the casting. I'm with you.
But I think Pedro Pascal is a better Joel than Joel in the game.
Ding, 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 ding.
So we're on the
ding.
same page,
We're
right?
on the exact
Okay,
same
that's what I
page.
mean. Now when I think of Joel, I'm going to think of Pedro. But when I think of Ellie, I'm still going to think of her. It's no slight on Bella. It's just she didn't do it for me.
Right.
I don't know. And I loved her in the beginning, but as the show went on, man, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
You fucking bitch.
Oh, easy, Tiger.
You fucking bitch.
Jesus Christ. She's going to see this.
So the last thing we should say, or I'll say before because we're going to rank all the episodes and just go over our last resorts of the show.
Yep.
Dude, so in theory, tell me if I'm wrong. In theory, they know exactly how Ellie became immune. They know exactly how, right? Mom got bit as she's giving birth. Yep. Oh, immune, right?
Yep.
So in theory, they know what happened and how Ellie became immune. So they can legit repeat that. All you do is you capture an infected, you find a willing participant. Out of the millions of people who are left, there's got to be some woman who's like, all right, I'll get pregnant, I'll sacrifice myself, you can bite my arm. Like, someone's going to risk their life to save you.
I had a good life.
100%. You're going to be able to find someone, and then you just repeat that process. She'll sacrifice herself, get pregnant, and have the kid. You could do it a bunch of times if you need to. What?
Can I speak now?
Yeah, speak.
Okay. This is what I've been saying for years about Blade. It's the exact same thing, and it's the exact same thing I thought.
Okay.
As soon as she got bit in the beginning, I go,
Yeah. Wait, but how couldn't you have been saying it for years? It just happened.
No.
happened.
What you just said is what I've always been saying about Blade. They want to get a daywalker. They want West. Go make one.
Oh, go make one.
You
Got
know
it.
how. You know the process.
Got it.
And you
So
can
it's
just
the-
enslave people.
It's the same thing I'm saying.
If you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted to, Mikey.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Got
you
it.
could literally take someone against their will, impregnate them, and have someone. You could do it.
That's what I'm
fucked
saying.
Up, but what's more fucked up?
You could do it.
Killing a kid and maybe getting her brain,
Exactly.
or raising 100 kids
And
who are all like that.
Exactly. And you can do it. You get a baby and you see if she's infected and you're doing it to a baby, which might be more fucked up, but at least she hasn't led like a life that, where you get to know whatever. It's just fucked up scientists doing fucked up things.
Yeah.
If you believe in it that much, Marlene and all these other people, Marlene's known, Mikey, for 14 years how Ellie became, well, not for 14 years, but she should have had it indicate.
So
wait.
No,
Hold the fuck on here.
What you're about to say, I was thinking of.
This is insane.
Okay, but she doesn't know.
Yeah, but she knows that her mom was bit, right? And all she said before the umbilical cord was cut,
Yeah.
right?
Well, no, but she told her. Yes. She told her that she was bit after she cut the cord.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in Marlene's head, she should still be like, okay, hold on. There's got to be something up with this little baby. I'm going to be watching it even more as it's growing up. And no, she just, see you later. Give it to Fedra. It's just insane to me.
Yo, wait, you know
that
what,
Marlene
too?
does this. She
You
just
know
throws
what?
away her biggest ticket.
Holy shit! You know what I just thought of too?
What?
You're telling me not once in 14 years, Bella got tested at all?
Yeah, being in a Fedra school, Mikey.
You would think they'd be like, "Oh, you guys came back from recess? Here,
Yeah,
come get tested."
Exactly, because in the show they're saying that she got infected, right? The cordyceps were in her brain at birth.
It's not
so
like
she was infected since birth, not since she got
Right?
bit.
You think that there'd be like a daily check, like
Mikey,
fucking COVID?
You're right. And like I said in the beginning, that prologue fucked shit up for me with Marlene, and I'm like, how she know? It even fucked shit up more because then they're telling us Ellie's been infected since birth,
and she's never gotten tested. Never once the thing to the forehead. I feel like everybody every day probably should.
That's insane, dude.
Wow, I've never thought about that ever.
So that fucks up the beginning even more. That's a great point, dude. That she's literally, the cordyceps have grown with her, so she has been infected.
Since birth.
Since birth. It wasn't the bite. The bite didn't mean anything.
Mikey, imagine her first flu. They're going to go, whoa, wait a second. Let's just to be safe. Up! And they just fucking kill her.
That's why it's sometimes better to leave things unexplained.
Good point.
Just leave it.
Yeah, don't show how the mod.
That's the whole point of the opening scene is to show how Ellie got infected.
Right.
Maybe you should just leave it alone.
Live her alone.
Live her alone, man.
Dude, wow. You guys, we are doing some groundbreaking shit here.
Groundbreaking,
And I'm
man.
not going to lie. The episode came out 4 days ago. Not one person has said a lot of shit that we both said. So,
so
that's why you're here.
That's why you're here.
That's why you subscribe. We appreciate it.
So overall, we're going to rank the episodes now, right? Or we'll score this one.
This one real quick.
What do you got?
I'm going to go first. I'm going to give this one a 8.2.
All right, I'll give it an 8.0.
Okay. All right. Again,
8.0. Same page. Yep.
Okay.
So
let's rank them.
again, guys, we have went across the whole gamut. We've reviewed every episode. Click link in description. Audio only. You don't have to see our ugly mugs.
Please.
You want to just give our thoughts on the series as a whole?
Yeah, final thoughts, final last thoughts on the
you want to give me your
series?
final thoughts, or you want me to go first? Whatever you
you
want.
go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
All right. I think I've said it a bunch in this episode, but when it ended, I think my biggest question is why? Why is this all worth it? Well, I get it. People made money. They worked. They got jobs. Like it's a good thing. But from when the show started, the first 3 episodes, I was so amped and so hyped and like, oh, they're doing new things, different things. This is going to be an all-time classic show. By the end of it, it is not an all-time classic show. It is a show that is done very competently, but it's just the game. And that's not like an adaptation. That's just filming the game. So it left me with a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I'm going to go back and watch the Bill and Frank episode because it's, a little nutshell episode, no pun intended, all in one, right? It begins and ends. I love that. So there are some parts that I maybe want to rewatch, but as far as like rewatching this as a whole, like it doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it for me. So that's what I was saying. Mikey, what are your final thoughts on the show?
My final thoughts are, look, I love the game. I'm obsessed with it. I played it a handful of times, right? But this show, from what I thought it was going to be, fell short. It didn't exceed my expectations. It did not hit my expectations when it comes to what I personally wanted from the show. This show will go down as a really good, it's a good show. It's not great. If they did some things different,
that potential.
this would be like, I'd go, oh my God, one of the best adaptations for sure. And it still is one of the best adaptations because of how good the writing and acting is.
Well, the writing is good. It's the game.
That's a good point. So it's just it's
made well. It's just made
100%.
really well.
Made really well. But
Sorry.
this had potential to be great, and that's what I'm going to take away from this at the end is that man missed opportunities, and you did not do what I was hoping you were going to do.
Yes.
So I hate to say it, but I am never watching the show again.
And a big part of that, Mikey, sorry to interrupt, is the missing presence of
Infected.
boom.
It's not even a question.
Yep.
So,
It's just that's the biggest downfall of the show. Call us lowest common denominator. Call us dumb, whatever you want.
Please.
If you're making a show about a zombie game, you got to put some zombies in the game,
yeah, and just
especially
guys,
at critical parts.
But think about this. After episode 5, 0. 2 are flashbacks. So literally in our world,
present,
there are 0 infected after episode 5. That is a disgrace. That's a slap in the face.
Slap
just
in the
as much
face.
as a 43 episode finale is.
And I just got a root canal, guys. I shit myself in the face. So that's just how much
good point.
I sacrifice for you guys. Love you. All
Thank
right.
you for your pain.
So now we're gonna rank the episodes.
We'll just go 1, 1, 2, 2. You
think so?
Yeah, right? I mean, you want to start from the least.
No, I think it's better if you run through and then I run through, right? Because then people are gonna get confused about how we're ranking them.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
all right,
I think
all
you
right.
give your list, I'll give my list.
All right,
that's
you want me
fine.
to go first?
Sure, go first.
And we're going from what? Best to worst?
I think we should go from worst to best,
Okay,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
So we're starting at the bottom, rising to the top, like
worst
Kareem.
episode for me, episode 7, Left Behind. The next worst episode for me, Please Hold to My Hand, which is episode 4.
Say
That's
the number
Kathleen.
first. Yeah, say the number first.
Sorry.
Yep.
The next episode is episode 6, Kin. The next episode for me is the finale, episode 9, Look for the Light. Episode 8, When We Are in Need, with Pedophile David. Episode 2, Infected. These are my top 3. So from third, second, and fourth. Okay. Number 3, best episode, Endure and Survive, episode 5. Episode 3, Long Time. Shout out Bill and Frank. Love you. And my favorite one is the pilot, episode 1, When You Are Lost in the Darkness.
Okay, so we are kind of similar. We flip-flop 3 times. So we just like flip-flop 3 times, but it's pretty much the same.
I'm interested to hear.
So my list from lowest to highest as my favorite. The worst, episode 7. Then I have episode 6. Then I have episode 4. Then I have episode 9, the finale. Then I have the second episode. Then I have 8 with David and the cannibals. Then my top 3 is 5, the one where the giant infected scene with Henry and Sam.
Endure and Survive.
Loved it. Then my number 2 is the first episode. And my number 1 episode, my favorite episode, the episode that I will rewatch until the day I become infected and grow cordyceps, is episode 3 with Bill and Frank. My favorite episode. I don't care. And that shows how much I don't like the show, that my favorite episode is something new that really doesn't have to do with the world or the main characters of the show is my favorite episode. Just felt like a movie, and it felt like something that was higher than everything else. So that's why it's a little controversial, right? Some people might be like, dude, you got to put that a little lower. But hey, man, I'm putting that as my number 1 as a half game man myself. I have to put that up there, or else I will be beaten harshly when I leave here. So
hopefully by who?
You don't want to know.
I feel bad.
You don't want to know.
I'll help you. I'll take them off.
Thank you. Those are my rankings, and I respect. See how we flip flopped a couple, right?
But I know I get it.
Yeah, we flip flop.
totally
Our top
understand your
3s
lists.
are the same.
Yeah.
Just in different order. And then most of ours are the same, just maybe you
flip-flops.
flip-flop. You
Yeah,
flip-flop
yeah,
6
yeah.
and 4. We flip-flop 8 and 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And then 1 and 3.
That's it.
Those are where we flip-flop.
But I get it, man. And
pretty much all in the same, we're pretty much all in the same categories,
Yeah,
right?
it's not like anything was really low on my list, was high on yours, or vice versa.
Well, put it
It's
this
the
way.
same thing.
If you grouped every episode into 2s, our list would be exactly the same.
Yeah, good point.
If you put them into 2s, our list will be exactly the same.
you go.
4 tiers or whatever
Yeah,
you want to
sure,
do.
sure.
Our list would be the same. So,
good point.
see, guys, that's where we are. Joel, Ellie, you know what I'm saying?
I'm Bill.
You
you're
have
Frank.
longer hair, dude.
I'm Ellie. I'd play a better Ellie than Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, she got to learn how to facial emote.
Yeah.
Facial emote, please.
I wonder if in her head she's thinking too much about, like, okay, sound American. So, like, that's taking over things. Who
Could
knows?
be.
I don't know.
I just don't think she was so good in Game of Thrones as like
Yeah.
but it was one note.
Yeah. Yep.
Just be hard.
Yep.
That's it. So she can do that. Be hard, right?
King down forever.
In this, it was one note. It was like, oh, be this like cheerful, innocent but tough little girl, and she did that. But then when she had to be a little more adult in acting, she didn't do it for me. I don't know. And also, there were times in this episode where she's walking around. I'm like, that's a 19-year-old woman. Just the way she was built and the clothes that they had her in. I'm like, she's not 14. I could hear it in her voice. I'm like, she's not 14, dude.
Right.
It was just weird. I didn't like it.
Now,
So
one question for season 2. This is not a spoiler. I'm being serious.
no, sure.
Are they going to keep Bella Ramsey, or are they going to recast?
Of course.
All right. The only reason why I'm asking that is there may be a time jump.
Yeah, but she's literally
So they just have to make her look.
no.
like her
She's
current age.
she's 19 years old.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they just have to kind of play it up that she's now 19 or
Yeah,
20. Okay.
exactly. They
Okay.
could scale back the years on the remake, on the sequel.
Sure.
They could scale the years back
Sure,
a
it
couple
could be a
years.
couple years,
She's
yeah,
19, right?
All right.
She's 19 in the in
in the game, I believe, in the second one.
No, I'm saying in the show they can make her 19.
Yeah.
I'm saying in the game, I think she's probably older. She's probably like 21, 22, right?
I think it's a 4 or 5 year jump, so it's pretty much her age right now.
Oh, she's barely legal in the second game. You're saying
No, I think she's over 18.
that's what I'm saying. Barely legal.
Oh yeah, she's barely legal in some
yeah.
states. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But really legal in some states. If you catch my drift, you know what I'm saying?
I'm cutting that.
Please do, please don't.
So
Okay.
that's it. I'll
How
just.
about this? Series as a series score.
Oh yeah, all
Just
right.
a quick series
All right.
score. I gave mine first on the episode. You got to go.
I'm gonna give this series overall an 8 flat.
I'm gonna go 7-9. Look
Oh,
at
you're
that.
gonna go lower than me.
Just a 7-9.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but
I like it.
It's the same shit.
But again, it could have been because I had not played the game.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
true.
getting surprised a lot more than you were.
Sure.
If I had just played the game, I'm telling you, Mikey, I'd be not hating this show, but I'd be way worse than you. I'd be like, I'd be flipping out. Because I'm like, I just saw this. I just saw this.
It's better.
Yeah. And you're there, you're doing it. So
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right.
that's it. Listen, guys, it's been a fun journey doing this. It brought us back to our roots. You know what I mean?
Right. We started with Game of Thrones season 8. Sorry, and we did a whole series, episode by episode. So I did enjoy it, Michael.
And that's what we did this time. We did from fucking 1 all the way to 9, all the way to 9. And I do not like it how it ended, but it's fine.
And we'll get back to movies.
Yes, we will be doing a movie next week. Whatever comes out, we'll find something to do.
We'll find something.
But I think that's it.
Yeah, the journey's over, guys.
It's ended
Season 2.
until season 2, which we might do every episode, or we might just do as one whole thing.
See how the pilot goes, yeah?
Because Jesus Christ, if you told me at the beginning of this how the show is going to turn out, I probably would have said let's do
Sure.
the first episode, then maybe 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like let's.
I'm with you, Mikey.
Instead of doing it every week, because 43 minutes for this last episode. I mean, what are you doing?
Every time we do a show, we have such high expectations.
It's crazy.
And then it just
It's
But
crazy, man.
again, good show.
Yeah, the show went like this.
Yeah, peaks and valleys and then down.
It didn't go boop, right?
no,
It didn't.
no,
It just slowly declined. It slowly declined. Yeah.
Kathleen can go kill herself.
But a great story will always be a great story.
For sure.
And that's where I don't give the writers of the show credit, because only for the Bill and Frank episode, because they just copied the story from the game. They didn't have. You're not adapting Doom, where there's like no story.
Right.
And it's like, oh, what are they going to come up with?
Yeah, it's all action. So what are they going to do for the actual dialogue?
The
and story?
story's like 2% in Doom.
Yeah.
So there's a framework, and then there's like, oh shit, what are they going to do for Doom? And if they did something like this, you'd be like, yo, they come up with this crazy story, and it was so impactful and emotional, and I'd be like, bravo, you deserve the Emmys.
Yeah.
This, they took the story and just did it.
It's all the cutscenes, Mikey.
Yeah,
It's all the
exactly.
cutscenes.
Makes me so upset, man.
Craig Mazin and also Craig, because if you're gonna watch this, we know you are, right?
We know you're watching.
Just get off the high horse a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I was wishing at
know.
that final podcast that he just said, yeah, look, we gave it our best. Yes, there's things we could have done probably better, but no, it's oh no, this show's perfect, and we did the best job we could.
Yep.
It's not perfect, guys.
It's not perfect at all, and it's not
Chernobyl.
It started off so good that I think people were just like, okay, we're just going to praise this show.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to praise it because it started, the first 3 were like bangers, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So they were like, all right, we're just going to, critics, everyone's like, all right, we're fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you
We're
do now.
already writing the finale review.
Review now.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
exactly.
great. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
But
So
instead, you got to digest. You got to step back and realize, what did the game do? What did the show do? Why is the game better? Why is the show made? There you go.
dude, that's absolutely perfect. Print down a t-shirt, sell it for $59.99 because you ain't getting that quote from anywhere else.
Yeah, it's copywritten. Two doubles.
Trademark. So that's it. We are going to sign off for now, right? From Planet of Earth in the year 2023.
Yeah.
With the cordyceps and all the infected running around. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, the guys, there's infected around, but we didn't see a lot.
Just think they're going to kill me for the end.
Okay, I will. No, YouTube will probably, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. So anyway, guys, we are signing off now from the planet of The Last of Us. We will hopefully be back next week, right? With something that doesn't end on a whimper?
I sure hope not.
Get me infected!